Time Warner Cable has raised cable rates again, and they've added something called a broadcast TV fee. That's what you're doing. You're in the business of broadcasting TV. This is from DSLreports.com. Remember, we have this proposed merger between Comcast and Time Warner, and one of the big supposed benefits every time we hear about these mergers is we'll be able to keep prices low or reduce them. It doesn't really happen. And now Time Warner says, well, we're going to add a $2.25 a month broadcast TV fee. And this is something that a lot of cable companies are doing to bury these retransmission fee increases that are coming from broadcasters below the line. So the advantage of this is, number one, people seem to be less sensitive to new taxes on their bill because they say, hey, it's a tax, right? But it's a tax or a fee, I have no control. And Comcast and Time Warner, Comcast has also started doing this, are able to say, well, the package still costs $90 a month. The increase is below the line. Very sneaky, isn't it, Lewis?
Yeah, it's not honest at all. And it's unfortunate that you really have no say in the matter. There's just nothing that can be done about it.
There isn't. And if you say, well, I'll go to a different cable provider, usually there are no other cable providers where you live. And even if there were, as I said, Comcast instituted the same thing last fall. And every single time that you have one of these, there's very little you can do. I just had a nightmare situation. I used to have Comcast in Massachusetts. Now in Brooklyn, it's Time Warner. When I first called up, I said, hey, listen, I want cable TV and relatively fast internet. I picked one of the middle ones. They said, great. That's called the double play. Cool. That sounds cool. Sign me up. It's $90 a month. Great. I'm on. The technician shows up and he installs it and he says, so what plan are you on? And I say, oh, we're on the $90 a month plan for high-speed internet and cable. He says, no, there's no such plan. I have you here down as at the $125 a month plan. I said, no, I can assure you that's not the plan because that's not at all what I signed up for. You know exactly how these things go, Lewis. 15 phone calls to a dozen different people at Time Warner explaining that this is not what I was offered. And ultimately having to have, the way they phrase it is, well, listen, this is what we'll do for you as a special thing. We'll set up a $20 a month discount for 6 months. And then after the 6 months, just call us and ask us to extend the discount. And then you'll be all set. Well, Lewis, that actually happened this week. Believe me, you're not all set when they say just call back and we'll keep saving you money. They're not in the business of letting people just call back to save money.
No, they're in the business of screwing people, and they're doing a fantastic job, and they will continue to until our legislators decide to do something about it, which they probably won't.
Because they get so much money from these companies.
Exactly.
It's just amazing. Terrible companies. I really hope the Comcast-Time Warner merger doesn't happen. Cable companies are often the worst when it comes to customer satisfaction. Comcast and Time Warner within that industry tend to also be the worst. It is a recipe for consumer disaster, but probably big profits for big corporations, which is really the goal. Let's take a break. Next, we will talk to economist Richard Wolff about redistribution of wealth. Stay with us.